You're joking, right?
Well, I'm trying to be hopeful. I'm trying to be optimistic about that.
Well, I guess you're too young to be a little pessimistic like me. The fucking things I see out there, people are stupid.
Hey,
What up, Ronnie? Hope everyone had a good break the fast.
for those who celebrate, the Jews.
Yes, yeah.
But like we said in the Patreon, probably not many Jews that listen
Take
to
this. You're good.
Probably a lot of Jews listen to us, but more non-Jews.
Well, there's just more non-Jews in the world.
A lot more. But
Yeah.
our listener numbers is probably a lot higher Jews representative than the actual numbers.
Percentage-wise, right.
Yes.
All right, so that's good. Oh, we missed that, Ronnie. My stomach's so bad. I don't know why.
Please share with everyone.
We went to brunch at the club.
I'm
not going to share the details.
Okay.
My stomach's so bad. I don't know why. I never get a bad
I
stomach.
always do.
I know you do. Oh, you still have a little food on the right side.
It
No one sees it.
Sucks.
You'll get it later.
I hate my stomach. Like
You've always had. I don't have stomach, but I guess
I know,
maybe
it
because I
sucks.
ate more than I usually eat. But that's
No.
And
You must have
Chris,
just eaten
was it
something-
last night?
It must have been last night. There's no way that 30 minutes after you ate, that's
Probably
not
an
it.
hour later because we
Still.
were sitting there.
Still,
Either way, I'm in.
it takes much longer to form poop. So your poop
Okay.
that you just had
Bronny,
was from last
Bronny,
night.
What's with you?
The food
Bronny?
from last night.
So did you see what Mom had delivered today? 2 huge box of. Was there more wreaths on the bottom?
It was the exact same shit. It was like fall leaves, plastic shit like that.
Why? Where are we storing? I fucking hate that shit. I'm not fucking. I gotta look on Amazon because I'm not paying for it. That's some fucked up shit. It's huge boxes, the size of a desk.
lot of decorations, but I think you secretly like it. You just like complaining about it.
I do not like it
I
because
think
it serves no purpose.
You don't like storing it, but you like that mom
Do you know how much-
decorates the
do you know-
house.
Yeah, but we have all that shit already.
Yes. But where? We
It's
don't
in
have
the shed. We have plenty
in
of
the
stuff
shed, yeah.
in the garage. We have shit stored in the garage for when you were 8 months old.
Yeah.
It's been. We took it from house to house to house. What's the fucking point?
Yeah. Like mom's wedding dress was.
Well, that's going to go to use now.
No, I know, but it's funny. Like for 30 years, you guys were storing this thing, and then you were like, "Here, you take it. I don't want to store it anymore." Or like, I don't. Oh no, I said I can't take it. And mom said, "All right, I guess I'll have to find space for it." I was like, "Find space for it. You've had this thing for 30 years."
Yeah, but that is a little bit different than storing every year of the same. She keeps adding more and more to it. It makes no sense.
Yeah. Kids stuff, I guess. Like part of you wants to keep it.
Kids stuff I get because you're going to want that when you're older.
But do you? Like we've never looked at it ever. Like my little artistic paintings from when I was 2. Like no one looks at that ever.
Yeah, but
again.
you're going to want that.
I guess you just have to keep it.
And like all my ski shit, when we go out to Colorado, I'm leaving it there.
Well, yeah, but that's stuff you stored.
I have it, so I'm saying, but I can't wait to just get the shit out. There's so much junk. I can't wait for you guys to get your place so I can take all the shit out of storage and all the stuff out of your room and take all your
What
fucking
stuff
shit.
of mine do I have? The 20 books that were in that one bin?
No,
What
but
else is there?
All the pictures. Aren't some of those your
What
pictures?
Oh, like the good. Yeah, but you
The
hung
nice
it up.
frame. Yeah, but they're yours.
Yeah, but
And your clothes.
I don't really care about signatures anymore at this stage of my life.
You wouldn't want Slash and the other stuff and Warren Haynes. Those are nice things to have in your office.
They are nice, but like a signature of a quote unquote famous person doesn't do anything for me.
No, but it's something nice on your wall.
Yeah, I guess. The Pearl Jam poster that I have is cool because it's a real poster from their tour. So it's, but just when someone signed, like I would value that poster equally if it was signed or not signed. You know what I mean? The signature itself doesn't do anything for me, but I just don't care about celebrity.
Unique. I don't care about celebrities either. It's just a nice conversation piece on the wall.
I've never had a conversation about any of them before, but
Okay.
it's all right. Yeah.
All right, Bronny. What's going on, buddy?
Nothing.
Did you have a nice weekend?
I was in LA all week.
How was
all
that?
last week. It was good. It was
Looked
nice.
at wedding
We were
venues?
venue shopping, I guess is what
How's
they call
how's
it.
that make you feel?
Who calls the house?
I know, right?
I'm shocked we even still have a landline.
You gotta have a landline.
It's only why? Why do you have to have a
'Cause
landline?
I have to.
But for what reason? Brant.
What?
It said the Brant Bloom is what the phone said. Is that
He
what
doesn't
it
even
said?
know our number.
I don't know. Whatever.
That's weird. So tell me, you going wedding shopping? I don't know. I think a venue. I think that's weird. Does that
no, it's exciting.
exciting? Yes.
Yeah.
And
We've been looking. Like I don't want to say too much, I guess, because nothing's set yet.
when's the wedding date? You think?
I don't know yet.
Probably May.
Probably, but I have nothing set, so I don't want to like say
California.
Oh, it's this.
We know it's California.
Yes.
Okay.
I don't want to say too much because then it's like, I don't know, you know?
Are you within,
someone
are you
says
within
something-
budget?
Well, I don't know. There isn't a budget.
Weddings are not cheap, huh?
No. Part of it, yeah. I mean, it is certainly a waste of money,
But it's memorable.
but you got to do it, I guess.
You have no choice. The women love it. It's like
Well,
a
you
fairy
do have a
tale.
choice, but it is really.
Not the woman. They like it. Men don't care.
But you have a choice of like, okay, we can just do it simple and nice, or we have to make
Like
a big thing.
looking back on my wedding now, 30 plus years later, honestly, it has no. I don't want to say it doesn't have meaning because it's a beautiful day and I agree with it. But looking back, it's like, okay, it wouldn't change my life either way.
Yeah.
You know, mom makes more out of it. Camp's the best, or this reunion, or that. You know, men. It
was just an event. It was like,
to
okay.
me, it's not as monumental. Or you got to go to summer camp. It's life changing. Or you got to belong to a fraternity or sorority. Like, I don't know if I agree with that. I think you're no worse off for that. I think
It depends on the person.
I think going away to college as opposed to commuting is a difference. I think that's a huge difference of an experience. But yeah, mom likes those things. To me, you're more like me in that regard.
But I think also I think you're also looking at it with so many. I think
Correct.
3 years after your wedding, you didn't feel this way.
Correct. I'm saying looking back.
Now it's so long that it's like, you know, you probably don't even remember too much of it.
I
'cause it
do
was so
remember
long
my
ago.
wedding. I do remember. It was a nice day.
And also, I guess the other side of the coin, because you're saying it's such a waste of money, you don't even remember much of it, or like it's not.
I do remember it.
But the other side of the coin is, I mean, I don't really agree with this side of the coin, but the other side is you don't miss the money. Like the money that was spent on it. Now looking back 30 plus years, you're not like, oh fuck, we should have spent this. We shouldn't have spent that much money because we're missing that money now.
No, but I do think that, for example, you don't have to. You can still have a nice time.
Oh, certainly.
And have a nice function and not spend $100,000.
Of course.
Like even when we did Brooke's bar mitzvah at the club, it was like a mini wedding back then. And I know mom loves this, but it's like you don't need all that. You just
Certainly
don't
not.
need it.
No. Sometimes the more
Intimate and
quaint
simple
and intimate it is, the better.
time. I agree.
Right? Like think about when Hannah's whole family was here for the engagement. And we went like to fancy dinners for the first 2 nights and spent a lot of money. But then the third night we just hung out at the house,
And that was
everyone
the
agreed that was by far the best night.
Correct. But you know me, I'm all about that. I like that.
Yeah, but then I guess it is just like,
But you have
you
to do
have one, one
You have to do it.
day of
And-
your entire life to celebrate your marriage. Might as well go big, but it does feel like it's like 6 hours, and you spend all this money that you could have like really, set yourself up for life. For success in life by taking that money and putting it towards a home.
Which is huge.
You can like really set yourself up for
Huge.
good financial stability.
Yeah, huge.
But instead we spend it all on 6 hours. That's just like, woo! And then it's done.
Done.
And then it's just a memory where you could really just close your eyes and just form the memory yourself if you really wanted to for free. But hey, it's not my decision. I'm going for whatever she wants.
You know, people ask me like, well, this and I go, honestly, I don't get involved. Right? I haven't been involved. I'm
not at
I
all.
said, whatever the kids want, it's fine by me.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, it's all exciting. It's good stuff. As I said, I'm happy to have the family grow. I'm pumped.
Yep.
And I love my daughter-in-law, and I love my
Not your daughter-in-law yet, but
I
almost.
really like my in-laws.
Yeah.
So I have a double plus because I
Yes.
hear stories.
Oh, well,
But I respect, but then again, when people said to me, because look, I really know you and I think you're a great kid. So when people say to me, you're worried about your kids picking these girls, I go, honestly, I'm not. I know my 3 boys. They make good decisions. I have no control over their parents.
right.
That
Just kind of gets
and
lucky or
and
unlucky.
honestly, I don't care about that. Like,
And that's not a make or break for your life.
not
really.
at all. If I like the in-laws, it's a plus. If I don't, it doesn't change my life in any capacity.
Although I don't know, there could definitely be some strains on all the relationships by the sets of in-laws not liking each other, being like, "No, we're doing this holiday at our house. Fuck the other parents." Like that could be strains.
Okay, but
That could be
it
stressful.
could be. But I also trust my boys to do the right thing. Meaning, I don't expect you to be at my house for every holiday, and vice versa. What I would think, though, like for example, and this is tough because if both sets of parents have big functions, like I would always invite the in-laws and their family always to our house for the holidays. That's what I would do. But I think that mom and I raised you you boys well enough to make the right decisions, and I wouldn't put pressure on you. But if you're always at her house and didn't come to ours, I don't think that'd be right. And I think you should be going to, it needs to be equal. It's just, that's the way it is. It needs to be fair.
Yeah.
But I was never worried about that.
Yeah, like the other day you were saying, you're so lucky how like great Hana is in her family. And it's like, I don't know if it's luck. It's almost like I literally did choose her. It wasn't luck.
Okay, but
it's like I chose her because of how great she is in her family.
I get it, but still, but you could still fall in love with her and not love the family.
Yeah, that's lucky.
Okay,
true.
Listen,
yeah,
both
mom and you with both your in-laws.
Correct. We had, and then
not
mom's
Bubby, but
their parents mom's parents being divorced.
Yeah,
created issues, and my parents weren't the easiest in that regard. So, but if we wouldn't let, because that doesn't affect us, and we mom and I fell in love with each other, chose to get married, and we would do it differently with our kids and create the difference. So I think the in-law component is a luck component. Who you choose, I think we raised our kids to make the right choice.
Yeah.
But it's good stuff. I like happy occasion with all the shit going on.
Yeah. It's the Jewish New Year, so like we have a whole new year ahead of us.
Good year.
Yeah. Yeah, a good year ahead.
Are you going to do black tie, you think?
I don't know. Depends where it is, I think. Depends on the vibe.
That's the only thing. It is, if obviously black tie, of course, I'll wear a black tie, but I think black tie sucks.
Like full tux, you're saying?
Yeah.
I don't think I would ever want.
But I do. But I do understand a woman wanting her fairy tale romance and be so elegant. So I get why
I know
they
she's going to want it to be formal.
Right.
Like not people coming in like casual clothes. I know she's definitely going to want it to
Which
be
I
formal.
understand.
But I don't think she's going to. I don't think she even knows like thinks black tie to her. I think it's just like suits, not tuxes. So I don't know. We'll see.
But again, whatever it is, it is.
Yeah, I mean,
why
is what
are
it is.
tuxedos more uncomfortable than a suit? Isn't that weird?
I think it's
why
the material's stiffer. I feel like, but
no,
also
because those are ones you rent. The nice tuxedo suits are regular suit material, but there's something about it's more uncomfortable.
Well, I don't know why it would be that.
I don't know. Maybe it's just the aura of it being too formal.
Just you're like, oh, tux. I never wear this. Suits are low key uncomfortable too.
We're gonna have a good time.
You get used to them. But
it's gonna be a fun weekend.
Yes, it will.
I guess we'll come out for the whole week.
Who knows? Well, that stuff we'll have to decide later.
I'm just talking.
Nothing is set yet. There's nothing set. So we're less than a month away from the election now.
Yeah,
officially. So bored.
Scary.
Of it. I'm so bored of it.
I
It's
don't
so
know.
boring. Like last night when you guys started talking about politics, it's like there's literally nothing I want to do less than disagree with someone on politics. It's interesting to like talk with someone that agrees with you, but to like get in a debate with someone about politics is so boring because no one anymore is open-minded. So it's like there's no, on both sides, like there's
That's
no
true.
coming into any political conversation anymore with like a, let me hear them out and let me be open to hearing them out. Or them,
but
vice
there's
versa.
a difference,
But,
though.
So that's not fun anymore. It's
not
enjoyable.
fun. I agree, but there's a difference. My view when I talk to people who just say, I'm just voting for Kamala, I never hear a reason why. There's no depth to it. There's no intellectual or issues.
But does there have to be?
Well, you gotta say, tell me what she does or what she fucked
Why?
up.
If they don't care about that.
No, because I disagree. Because then it shows me you're a stupid, ignorant fuck.
Why?
There's a difference because you don't even know what you're voting for. You don't even know what you're voting for, and then things you think you don't like, which is rhetoric. When you explain to them, here's where you're wrong, there's no open mindedness to them.
Have you ever on the ballot, like gone besides president and senators and stuff?
Yes.
There's plenty of things that you're just like, I've never heard of this person in my life. I have no idea. But circle.
A little different for the presidency, though.
Yes, I agree.
That's what I'm trying to get
But
at.
you're saying they're ignorant. They don't even know what they're voting for. It's like you have also done that.
No, but
it is different for the president.
I'm talking about from the president. We have two choices that is an integral part of what's going on in our country and the world and the safety and the drugs and the situation and what could be a true game changer. And we have someone that's been in office for almost 4 years and caused damage, have done nothing. So I'm like, educate me. Tell me. I say to people, I'm open. Tell me what it is that you like about her, what she's going to do, and let's talk about it. And they can't.
But then what? So I agree with you, and I do think it's very important. Like this election is important because there's real repercussions for what's to happen.
Right.
However, if someone is ignorant, like you said,
But I could try to educate them and talk to them.
You
might
not.
know. You might know.
Has there ever been someone?
Haven't you and I had
hold on.
conversations?
Has there ever been someone who said, "Yep, I'm voting for Biden and or Kamala," right? Like let's say 4 years ago, or Kamala now, just because I don't like Trump. Have you ever had that conversation where it ended with them being like, "You know what? Okay, yeah, you know what? You're right. I won't vote for them." Has that ever happened?
Okay, but it's different.
So you're just wasting it. And that's what I find so boring. It's like,
you're right.
This is so boring that I'm going to have to teach you about this shit. Fuck that.
But
You're
wait.
ignorant. Bye. I don't care. That's how I feel.
Okay, but I feel that because I'm so concerned.
I know, but
let me finish for a second. I'm so concerned about how bad and how scary it will be. So if I can change one person, and maybe they...
But have you ever?
Wait, listen. Yeah, maybe they'll go into the voting booth and say, you know what? Come to think of it, safety is the most important thing to me. Or Judaism, whatever, and they say, I'm going to go ahead and vote. So to me, I don't mind having the conversation. I just, when someone's so ignorant and stupid and don't understand, it's always been my personality to fucking say my piece and try to change it. That's just who I am.
I know, but like saying, oh, how could you do that? That's so ignorant. It's like, that's not, they're going to be like, oh, you know what? Yeah. You were like, no one does that anymore. I hear you, but
people
are so not capable of change.
I'm not going to change because I need people to vote for Trump.
Yeah, but that's not helping it. So you're just wasting your breath, and that's where I feel right
anyway. I was bored.
I know, but it's so boring.
I understand
having the same conversation over and over, and having the same talking points over and over.
I understand.
Like, oh my god, just get this shit over with already.
We're almost there. Let's persevere. Let's do everything we can to try to make our country a better country because we need to make our country a better country. And I think people need to speak up and talk and just see what we can keep and pray and keep doing what we're doing.
It is really discouraging, like. Just the state of affairs.
Oh, no, you don't understand it.
Even if Trump gets in, Trump wins, let's say, half the country hates him, doesn't want anything all day, every day. For the next 4 years, all we're going to hear is negative Trump shit from all the media. Yeah. There's going to be all these stories that are just created, Russiagate, all the shit's going to come out.
I don't care about that, but yeah.
I know, and then there's still these wars going on. Who knows what's going to happen with those? Trump says, I'm going to stop the wars. How are you going to stop them? They never would have started. It's like, that's not an answer. How are you going to stop them? Yeah. So it's like those wars will still probably be going on. If anything, they might get worse because Trump would be like, okay, fuck you, bombs, soldiers. So it's like, it's so, no matter what happens. And then there's still all these immigrants that have come in the country. They're already here. Trump says we're going to do mass deportations. How? They're not.
Right, they're hard to find.
They're not registered. How are you going to? It's so discouraging.
It is, but there's a couple of things that we do.
And there's wars here, there, everywhere. Oh my God.
Easy there. But what I'm trying to say is, but there's hope if he's in. There's no hope if she's in.
I know, but
there's a big difference, though. There is.
It's like going to be. It's such an uphill battle when half the country is like, he's still
a doer. There's a difference. We know she is detrimental. We know. She's going to be a problem. I'm worried about that. So I hear it's not going to be easy, but it's there. I believe that he will make a change and a difference. She will make a change and a difference in such a irreversible, damaging way. That's just my opinion.
The war stuff is so discouraging.
Yeah, it's a problem
because there's multiple big war conflicts going on with no reasonable end in sight whatsoever.
Correct.
How does Russia-Ukraine end? There's no way that it can just come to an end.
Isn't it amazing it's going on this long?
Well, it's because how can it reasonably? Let's say Trump really is like the art of the deal, right? Like, let's say he's really like, I am going to get a peace negotiation between this,
which
and it's going to come
to
an end. But let's say he realistically is like, we can negotiate this and come. There's no good end in sight. Like, what's going to happen? How does that war end now at this point? It's so far into it.
The damage is and the loss of lives and the destruction.
At that one, at least, there's even more of a reasonable end in sight because at least with that one, you could just, say, okay, everyone put their arms down wherever these lines are now, whatever land each country's gotten, they keep it, right? Like, okay, but Israel, Palestine, it's like that one is way more, there's no end to that one. Because
they give the hostage back.
No,
if there's even alive,
why would that be the end of it? Israel will just lay all the weapons down if they get the hostage back. There's no way that's going to happen.
I don't know
because They give all the hostages back, and Israel says, great. Then Iran goes and bombs again, and then Israel's like, okay, boom, we're back to it. Like, there's no
But
end.
it's always been that conflict, right? It's big. It's a problem. And then you take those wars, then you look at the natural disaster, which is like
Right. That's another thing, too. Everywhere you look, it's like...
So where do we live in? Like just a little gated community?
No, it's not. It's just the state of the world is really...
Scary.
And you feel it. Everyone feels it.
Now, and then add the economics into it.
Yeah.
Huge.
And then add all the future stuff that's coming, the AI and the automation, all that stuff. Like,
and what about
we don't know what the world's going to look like in 10 years.
What about safety?
In regards to what? What do you mean?
Of like all the foreign people coming illegally and the safety of our country. The crime, the safety, the drugs. Scary
Forget about
shit.
the foreign people. If you didn't have a single foreign person, the crime and drugs and safety of Americans within America.
And what about the cost of goods and living?
15 years ago, before all this 10 years ago, before this migrant crisis thing, people were just getting shot in the streets in Chicago every day, in New York, being pushed in the subway. It's like, that's not an immigrant thing. That's Americans doing it to America. And the drugs and stuff. Like, that's not, even if you close borders fully, crime disappeared? No.
You have to be harder on crime.
But what does that mean? Having a stronger government? I don't want that.
No, stronger punishment. Like incarceration, not letting people out.
Right, that's a stronger government. And then who's deciding that stuff? It's all fucked, honestly. It's so discouraging. Everywhere you look, you're like, what is the world going to look like in 5 years?
It's only
10 years?
happened in the last, 6 years, 7 years?
And then 10
Terrible.
years.
Ever since Pelosi got involved. Ever since she really, right?
No, really, it's been like the last 30, 40 years that's been a decline. But within the last 10 years, it really ramped up. But then part of me, tries to get outside of those thoughts and think like, okay, I'm sure every generation has kind of felt,
Not this bad.
The world looks
doom and gloom.
Yeah. And then I think, maybe it's just, the media, negativity sells and controversy sells. So maybe the media just drums up and we only hear bad stuff and we don't hear the good stuff. But I think even if you factor those filters in, I still think
it's worse.
Realistically, at the end of the day, it is like the world is in turmoil right now. And then what's scary about that thought is
it's all the news.
Something
the
seriously
news is fucking things up.
Yeah, but there's so much more to it.
I know, but
if the world is in turmoil, then that means something drastic has to happen to bring it back to good.
Wasn't it drastic now?
Yeah, but
But
something has to change in order to bring chaos back to order. And so what's that going to look like? That's really scary. Because in 1932, not to always compare things to Nazi Germany, but in 1932, Germany, their economy was tanked. They had no sense of national identity, right? Like they were all fractured like we are in America. There were all these, the inflation was extremely high. Interest rates were extremely high. There was all this bad stuff. And so the people were like, something needs to change drastically. There's something seriously wrong in our country right now. And that's what gave rise to Hitler, right? It's like, we're living in chaos.
Well, the Venezuelan people coming into, these gangs coming into our cities and Colorado, whatever it is, and doing this stuff. These are drastic things. You'd ever think that would happen?
But that's chaos.
Yes, right. Would you ever think?
No, I know, but I'm saying that's all part of the chaos. In order to not be in chaos anymore, you need something. Chaos doesn't just naturally over time align itself back into order. It doesn't. You need something to bring it back into order. The chaos of World War II was brought back into order by the nuclear bomb dropping. Literally, the bomb dropped and everyone was like, oh, fuck, and it reset everything, right? Like, you need something drastic. Bad things just don't naturally line back up into nice, happy, working things. So something needs to happen, and it's like, that's scary. Because it's scary right now, the chaos that we're living in, and all the bad stuff. It's like, wow, this is all bad stuff. But what's even scarier is how do we bring it back to good stuff?
What do you think?
What do I think? How it's going to be brought back?
Yeah,
I don't know. That's what's scary about it. It could be really good or it could be really bad. It could be a world dictator that comes. Everyone in the world, every country right now is so. Economies are terrible. Migration is terrible. There's all these conflicts going on, all this stuff, and it's worldwide. someone might be smart enough and savvy enough to be like, and charismatic enough, and they become a world dictator. It's like, that can easily happen. It's happened before. Not world dictator, but known worlds, like ancient Rome and stuff. Like Rome throughout their time has had many times in the Roman Empire where it was absolute chaos. And one guy came in and was like, Julius Caesar came in and was like, I'm going to be dictator, which is a Roman word anyways, which was a term for like 7 months. And it was a person who can come in for 7 months, get shit in order, and then relinquish it back once it's in order. But then he was like, actually, no, I'm going to be the emperor. Fuck you all. And he became the emperor dictator of the entire known world at the time. It's like, I don't know. Everything just seems fucked. And then it's like, great, so I'm going to bring a kid into this?
Yeah, but you have us to protect you.
Protect? What do you mean? What if the banks just go down in a year? How do you protect me when you have no money? When we have no money, All our money, there's so many other things if you really extrapolate it. All our money is digital. So if the banks decide, no more money, it's not like we can be like, at least we have this stockpiles of gold buried in the backyard. It's like that we can barter with people. No. It ceases to exist. Every other time in history, if economies tanked, you at least had your animals that you could sell, or you had gold that you could sell, or, you made stuff that you could barter with people so you could have trade. All of your money except a bit of cash in the safe.
Why don't you tell everybody?
It's just, everyone has a safe with cash. Besides that, your money doesn't exist. It's digital. It's not real until you draw it out. But if you go to the bank and say, I want my money, they can say, we don't have it.
Well, I went to go cash a check, and the bank said, we don't have that much cash.
But what if it's bad. It's bad. But it's just, it is what it is. That's the society we've all decided on to live in. But mark my words, something drastic will happen.
It's such a crock of shit. It's like digital gambling.
But at least back in the day, it was backed by something you physically held in your hand. Now it's just ones and zeros on your banking app. You go in and you log in and you see your balance, right? All that is just the bank is saying, yeah, we're telling you this is how much money you have in there. There isn't actually that money.
I understand. You think I'm...
I'm not saying just for you, but I'm just saying it out loud because that's a crazy idea that we've all agreed to that system. That's fucked. What if the internet goes down forever? All our money is gone. It's gone.
It's not gone.
Yes, it is. Your money doesn't exist anywhere. Your money, my money, I bank with Bank of America. They're not holding my money in a little envelope in some office.
That's not true.
It's invested in some business.
Just like in the refrigerator, there's a little man that when you close the door, shuts the light off.
Yeah. Well, I guess we can move on to... I don't even have any good news. All the news I have on here is like fucking bad news.
What do you have? What's another bad news?
Not bad news.
I like when you bring up something light too. All right, so let's go back.
I have a few light things.
Everyone needs to vote for Trump. Let's pray he wins. And if he doesn't, well, it's gonna be a big fucking problem. Huge.
Yeah, I honestly, the point I'm at, I see like both of them. Like Trump is definitely the better choice because there's better alternatives. But I think things are so fucked that it's like one person in 4 years fighting an uphill battle because everyone's against him and the whole system is so entrenched already. It's like it doesn't really matter that much.
No, our country, we have a lot of problems. Yeah,
Trump isn't God. He can't come in and be... And also, he's not a dictator. He's a president. A president has to work through all the red tape. It's just impossible to make things right. He can, course correct slightly, a few degrees, where Kamala might be many degrees the opposite way.
But she will do even further irreversible damage. There's a difference.
I just don't think if Trump becomes president in January, in 4 years, in January 2028, we're not going to be like,
now, can he run two terms in a row?
No, you can only be president twice.
That's what I thought, right. Okay.
But also, he'll be 82 or something. That would be ridiculous. Can you lower the air? Did you lower it in here?
Oh, no, I'll lower it, sure.
I'm sweating from
ranting
about the state of the world.
It's a big problem. I'm very nervous about it. I pray he wins. Uncle Brand thinks he's going to win. I fucking hope he wins. It's a laundry room one, right?
Uncle Brand thinks he's going to win? That's shocking.
Oh.
It's like asking a Christian, Do you think Jesus Christ is Lord and Savior?
Is he?
To a Christian, yes.
Okay.
But I don't think Uncle Brent would ever like realistically say, I don't think Trump's going to win. Because then it's like his whole worldview is gone. And even if Trump loses, Uncle Brent will say it was rigged.
Well, I know. I agree it will be rigged if he loses.
Why?
Because I don't think he's going to win because there are too many forces in control that are against him.
Right. So that's my point of even if Trump wins, how is he really realistically going
Different
to accomplish
story. I think
anything?
different story. If he wins, I think
all those forces just go away.
No, he'll have more power. So Uncle Brent got those labels made and put over the bottles. Isn't that funny? I mean, you could buy them online.
Yeah.
I think it's cute.
I guess. Yeah.
Just one more thing to have.
But like, it's
What?
like, I don't know. Just all the glorification of our politicians is so lame and antithetical.
You're so funny.
No, but why would we want Trump's name on a bottle of whiskey? That doesn't make like. Why is that cool?
Market Trump.
What? Market
Why
Trump?
would we want our name on these things?
Because that's us.
These are pretty cool, aren't they?
Yeah, and that's us.
I like that.
You don't know who this man is.
Oh, I know who he is. All right, go on. What else you got?
I don't know. You see the Kamala 60 Minutes thing?
No, I heard about it.
She did an interview on 60 Minutes, and the 60 Minutes interviewer was like grilling her in a great way. He was like really asking her questions that was like, you've changed your mind on everything you've ever
I'm
ran
gonna
on.
watch it today.
No, you can't watch it.
Why?
Okay, so
They took it down?
This is what I was. So he really grilled her on a lot of stuff, and then there were clips of it that were released early, not from 60 Minutes. Like someone released these clips, and everyone was like, "Wow, 60 Minutes, good for them." This is CBS News, mainstream media that was really, and they were. It wasn't just like a little bit of push. They were like really calling her out on her bullshit,
doing what a news reporter should.
And her answer, like they would ask her questions. And she would do the classic Kamala where she would
born in middle class.
word salad where she ended up saying nothing, right? So everyone was like, "Wow, what a crazy thing that's happening." CBS News is releasing this interview with Kamala where she looks like an absolute fool. Then the actual episode aired on TV on 60 Minutes when it on their slot, and it was a completely different interview. They cut all of the bad stuff out.
How'd you only show it? Somebody?
I don't know where the clips came from. We can look it up, but it was full on 1984, like. Because we saw what they did beforehand. We saw what there was one where they said, what are you going to do? How are you going to get Netanyahu to listen to you? He's not listening to Biden about like stopping the ceasefire. Why would he listen to you? Right? Something like that.
Right.
That's a great question to know why this is a big war. The answer she gave in the original interview.
Can you show it to me?
Yeah.
Yeah, let me watch this because the word salad's perfect, isn't it? Ay. So nervous. Let's see.
Okay, here.
All right.
This is...
And we can play this, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Make it bigger. Can't hear it. No worries.
But it seems that Prime Minister Netanyahu is not listening.
Well, Bill, the work that we have done has resulted in a number of movements in that region by Israel that were very much prompted by or a result of many things, including our advocacy for what needs to happen in the region.
But it's
okay, so she said...
Nothing.
She said... Things have been happening that are a result of other
movements.
things. That's what she said. Movements have been happening as
She
a
answered
result of
nothing.
many.
She answered nothing.
And then this is what aired.
It seems that Prime Minister Netanyahu is not listening.
We're not going to stop pursuing what is necessary for the United States to be clear about where we stand on the need for this war to end.
Oh my God!
Which that's a strong answer.
Yeah, but
she got there at the end of there have been movements of like
they said, "Here's the question. Here's what you need to read as the answer."
And that
that's fucked up.
And we're seeing it the
same as that question. I want to see more of it.
There is more.
But it seems that Prime Minister
plan is about saying that when you invest in small businesses.
Same thing
you
every time.
invest in the middle class, and you strengthen America's economy. Small businesses are part of the backbone of America's economy.
But pardon me, Madam Vice President, the question was, how are you going to pay for it?
Well, one of the things is I'm going to make sure that the richest among us
Says it
who
every
can
time.
afford it pay their fair share in taxes. It is not right.
I don't know if this was an edited
that
answer or not.
teachers and nurses and firefighters are paying a higher tax rate
That's not true,
than
though.
billionaires and the biggest corporations.
But-
I plan on making that fair.
But we're dealing with the real world here.
But the real world includes,
How are you going to get this through Congress?
you know, when you talk quietly with a lot of folks in Congress, they know exactly what I'm talking about because their constituents know exactly what I'm talking about.
Why shouldn't the black
Their
accent now?
constituents are those firefighters and teachers and nurses.
I want to see another one.
She
of the
can't be
edited ones.
president, Bron.
I've been covering the border for years.
This says Kamala Harris gets into a weird word salad in 16 minutes, asks about the border invasion. Kamala's in charge right now. Why doesn't she secure the border? Okay, so this is an unedited one, I guess.
And so I know this is not a problem that started with your administration.
Correct.
But there was an historic flood of undocumented immigrants coming across the border the first 3 years of your administration. As a matter of fact, arrivals quadrupled from the last year of President Trump. Was it a mistake to loosen the immigration policies as much as you did?
It's a long-standing problem. And solutions are at hand. And from day one, literally, we have been offering solutions.
And why did
What I was
quadruple?
asking was it a mistake to kind of allow that flood to happen in the first place?
I think the policies that we have been proposing are about fixing a problem, not promoting
Not
a
an
problem.
answer.
Okay?
But the numbers did quadruple.
And the
under
numbers
your
today,
watch.
because of what we have done, we have cut the flow of illegal immigration by half.
But should you
We
have
have
done
cut
that?
the
Should you
flow
have
of
done that?
fentanyl by half.
Once
But
everyone
we
solves a
need
problem.
Congress to be able to act, to actually fix the problem.
Can you pause for a moment? Okay.
That's-
What if she just said, we made a mistake?
Well, you can't do that in politics now.
Why not? Why not? Because they know she's lying. Listen, I think people like to see authenticity from someone. What if they say, listen, we made a mistake. We're not here to, it's unfortunate. We can't go backwards, but we're going to move forward and we're going to do what we need to do. She said, to protect our people and our country. Like, it's all bullshit.
But 5 years ago when she was anti-fracking and now she's pro-fracking, you're saying she's a flip-flopper. What if she just changed her mind?
Well, okay, but if she says, she says, I thought that was the right thing to do, and I was wrong. This is the right thing to do.
I think
It's
you
what
would.
the people
I
need.
think you would say, well, then look, she doesn't know what she wants. Why would I vote for her?
But here's the thing, though. When Waltz did the thing with Vance, you heard me say, I got to respect it. I think he did it. He was sincere.
But when
did
he
it-
said, when they pressed him on that Tiananmen Square, China, when he was in China, whatever, they pressed him and he said, I made a
But he
mistake.
lied.
I was like, that's the nail in his coffin.
I don't agree
When
with you on
he's-
that.
Because he was caught in a lie.
Because he lied. If she said, at the time, I thought that was the right thing to do, was for the good of our country, but I realized it wasn't. Okay, you
Yeah.
got to respect. There's a difference
Yes,
in
I agree.
lying.
But I don't think I agree with you. I think that would be better than this, but that's not how politics is played. They can never admit that they were wrong.
But people need, but people want to see authenticity and compassion and say, this is bullshit.
But the fact that like 60
That's scary,
minutes
by the way.
edited, so then it's like, what else are they editing that we've
Correct.
never seen? Like the original.
Loads of shit.
Yeah.
That's not the first time.
And that's 60 minutes. 60 minutes is
was
regarded
a
as like,
legitimate, yeah.
they're regarded as just the news. 60 minutes is like the hardcore
Well, he has some
news.
good questions, but it's a joke.
He has some great questions. It's
That's fucked up. Is there another one?
let's see.
But it seems that Prime Minister
that's-
a quarter of registered voters still say they don't know you. They don't know what makes you tick. And why do you think that is? What's the disconnect?
It's an election bill. And I take it seriously that I have to earn everyone's vote. This is an election for
Doesn't
president of
answer
the
it.
United States. No one should be able to take for granted that they can just declare themselves a candidate
She did.
and automatically receive support.
She
You have to
did.
earn it.
She
And
didn't
that's what I'm
earn
saying.
anything.
Yeah.
No one put her in that position.
Trying to see if there's.
I don't know
other-
how people can vote for her. It's some fucked up shit. Ugh.
This. So this was unaired. This is an unaired portion. Let's see what she says.
Which foreign country do you consider to be our greatest adversary?
I think there's an obvious one in mind, which is Iran. Iran has American blood on their hands. Okay, this attack on Israel, 200 ballistic missiles. What we need to do to ensure that Iran never
the hand movement.
achieves the ability to be a nuclear power, that is one of my highest priorities.
So if you
and
have
that must
proof
be.
that Iran
That's a
is
good answer.
building a
I like
nuclear
that
weapon, would you take military action?
I'm not going to talk about hypotheticals at this moment.
Which foreign country?
Okay, I actually think
I'm fine with her answer on that.
I also think Iran is our greatest adversary because they actually want like
The
America.
anti-America.
They actually want America to fall. China doesn't want America to fall. China just wants to be our overlord.
They want to be the world power.
Yeah, and China needs us because they need us to buy their products.
Even Russia, I agree with that. But I think Iran hates America and wants to destroy America
and would actively
at any
be
cost.
fine killing Americans.
At any cost, yes.
China would never dare kill Americans. They just want to have economic power over us.
I understand.
So I think that is a
I
good
think-
answer,
I
but
think
that was not aired. So like, why is 60 Minutes picking and
I
choosing
think
what
her
to air in an
answer
interview?
there was fine.
Yeah, and it's also like would you use military force to stop Iran from gaining nuclear power? It's like she shouldn't answer that because
Not as a president of public.
exactly
Right, government
because
official.
then Iran might be like, oh,
Fuck
if
that.
let's
We have to-
assassinate Kamala now so she doesn't
No,
get in. And
I think her answer was the correct answer.
yeah, but then why wouldn't they air that?
I don't know.
The fact that
The news is the media is the problem.
yeah, the media is a
They need
huge
to shut
problem.
TV down, period. These networks are a problem.
Yeah, it's. Like, how do you
That's the
solve
problem.
this stuff too? Like,
I
how
don't
do
know.
Trump becomes president? He can't be like, all news needs to be truthful.
No,
it's
you
like,
can't do that.
no. So how do you fix this? You can't.
Bad.
I guess the only way to fix this is grassroots, like the people and the market, which
I
is
think
working.
your generation, by the way, I think is going to doesn't rely as much on TV.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like the market.
I think
corrects
20 years
itself.
from now, Fox News won't be around.
Well, they're already dying.
Okay, this is the first. I'm sorry, first time that I've seen both candidates going on podcasts.
Yeah.
First time ever.
They have to. Half of the country, that's where they get their news
Right,
sources.
I'm saying that's interesting.
Yeah.
That was unheard of.
Oh, well, yeah. No, they would only
And I'm
go on the
upset
big
that
shows.
they didn't come on ours.
Yeah.
Go on.
It's so a lot of people are saying that because a month ago Kamala didn't give a single interview, right? She was never in front of the camera ever. And then now she's everywhere. She's on all these podcasts, she's giving all these news interviews, all this stuff. People are saying that they are losing. The Democrats are losing, and so they realize that they have to switch up their strategy, right? Because if she was doing literally zero interviews to now doing a lot of interviews, so that's a drastic change. So something had to cause that change. So people are thinking that they're scrambling. And so now they're like, we got to do what Trump is doing. If Trump's going on all these podcasts, we got to go on all these podcasts. But the problem is she's bad at speaking, so it's going to backfire. So I'm all for putting her in front of the camera.
But she's taking Trump's topics too, though.
What do you mean?
I'm not going to tax overtime and tips. Talk about the border.
Okay, but that's okay.
I know, but
what's wrong with, if you like those ideas, then I think it's great if both candidates have those because then you know they're going to happen. If you're against taxing on tips,
no, you know what I'm trying to say. But she's
what are you trying to say?
She's so comical that it's so Kamala that she's taken Trump's platforms and making
what's
them
wrong
hers.
with that?
I just think, I'm trying to. You don't understand that?
No, what's wrong with that?
I don't know how else to explain it. Like she has none.
Why
of
is
her
that
own,
wrong?
She has none of her own ideas. She has to go on what he's doing. Like now the border.
But what if she's like, yes, that's a good idea. I'm going to run on that. Americans want this. I'm going to run on it.
I don't think she's doing that. I think she's just taking on his topic.
Okay, but even so, it's like
I know what's that? Flattery is the most
right. Mimicry is the sincerest form of flattery.
Right. I understand. I just think
and then it's like if I'm
she's pathetic is what I'm getting at.
Yeah, but if I'm super against tax on tips, let's say, and now both candidates are saying that they'll do that, and it's like, okay, regardless of who wins, one of these policies that I like is going to be implemented. That's a win.
But I don't believe her. That's the point. I don't
Yeah,
believe her
but-
because in the 4 years she's been off, she's done nothing but harm. And
Well,
this
she was
is what
vice
he's-
president. Vice president doesn't make laws.
I know. Okay, but she's still part of the team, has done damage.
Yes.
She's part of the team.
Yes, but the vice president doesn't make laws.
You
No, I do.
understand
Yeah.
that she is part of the losing team.
Yes.
So, and now you're going to put her in the top position of the losing when she was involved in the losing team, and not even like a losing team, but like lost by 1 point, destroyed our country. I don't know. It'll be interesting. I'm hoping Vegas. They got Trump winning with the betting department.
Vegas? Oh.
So I'm hoping they know something more than we don't know. But it's still 3 weeks. A lot can happen.
Oh my God.
A lot.
The day
can-
before the November 5th, something drastic in the world can happen that can shift everything.
Yes.
You never know. And that's also what's scary.
That's wild shit. So I can't watch the original. Oh no! Well, no one's seen the original 60 Minutes.
The whole interview, I guess.
How'd
not.
they get that clip? That's
I don't know where these
crazy.
clips came from. The original clips.
Crazy. Yeah, what's that one?
I think that's the same one we just watched. Yeah. It is very scary. 60 Minutes to release the full Kamala interview after intense pressure from Trump campaign. Oh no, this is only 40 seconds long, so I don't think that's right.
Wow.
It is scary, but it's just like, what do you do? Nothing.
It's almost like the movies when they force your brain what they want you to know.
Yeah, just straight up propaganda.
Headlines.
But the crazy thing is, like, most countries in the world, or at least like countries where propaganda exists, the people know that's propaganda.
But here it's so separated. There's two different propagandas.
Well, but no one thinks no one admits that they're being propagandized to. Do you think Fox News is propagandizing you? They're feeding you lies based on an agenda, or do you think they're feeding you the truth? Telling you the truth, not feeding.
Well,
You watch it every day, so what do you...
I agree with everything that Fox tells me.
That wasn't the answer to my question. You can
That's
you
my
can
word
agree
salad.
with all the
That's my word
propaganda.
salad.
You can agree with the propaganda.
Yummy, yummy.
Do you think that Fox News is telling you the news, or do you think they're propagandizing to you?
What do you think?
It's not a thing. I know that they're propagandizing to you.
Why do you know that? Why do you know that? I'm asking.
Because they clearly have an agenda based on the words that they say. They only report on one side of the news. They
Yeah.
never show negative things about Trump. They never
No, you're right.
and they
It's
never
the
show
narrative
pro things
here.
about Kamala or Biden. That's propaganda to me.
Do you think it's been going on like this forever?
Yes, but not to this extent.
See, when we grew up, when I was your age, they didn't have, well, maybe your age, but they didn't have world news. They had local TV channels. That's it.
But how would
ABC
you-
News actually was the national.
Because how would you find out about like government stuff?
Well, they talked about it in local stuff, but it was
Okay.
more, but we had news like 3 times. They were half-an-hour news channels, and we'd have them like 3 times a day.
But the local news is even worse than because the local news, which is this whole corrupt thing, they're all owned by like 2 companies that own all of the local stations in America, and they all report on the same things. There are videos. Watch this. There are videos where it's like 75 different local news in all different states are reading the exact verbatim same thing. Because they're all
That's
just
scary.
given the same script by the corporate people.
That's scary.
And
It's
then
like the movies.
also everything in local news, it's all just paid for. Local news is just a giant advertisement.
Right, it's a business.
It's
That's
not.
all it
It's
is.
not
You're right.
news.
Right.
It's all just an advertisement from companies that pay for quote unquote news stories to run that are really just ads. Local news. Local news? Same. Let me see if I can find this video. It's scary. Local news script. Maybe I can't find it. We did another reporter. Oh, here. This is it. Let's see.
Antonio's Jessica Headley.
And I'm Ryan Wolf.
Our greatest responsibility is to serve our Treasure Valley communities,
The El Paso, Las Cruces communities.
Eastern Iowa communities.
Mid-Michigan communities.
We are extremely proud of the quality, balanced journalism that CBS 4 News produces.
But we are concerned about troubling irresponsible, one-sided news stories
Plaguing our country.
The sharing of biased and false news has become all too common on social media. More alarming, some media outlets publish these same fake stories without checking facts first.
The sharing of biased and
False news has become all too common on social media.
More alarming, some media outlets simply aren't true.
This is like a movie.
And look, this is Fox, this is CNN, this is CBS, this is ABC.
Well, they do pick up other news. They do pick it up. Like when they did a couple of news things on me. Remember, I was involved. Numerous stations picked them up, and it was similar terminology they used.
Yeah, but you realize this, and this is just one example of the news story. But the news story that they chose for this video is about the newscaster saying,
Right, why would
you
they do
can't
that?
trust social media. You have to, because that's all misinformation. You have to trust
The
us.
news.
And they're all saying the exact verbatim speech. That means there was one person at the end of the day, at the top of this, that wrote this out because it's all verbatim. They didn't all just come to this conclusion independently. So someone is who owns all these stations, and it's like they could just push whatever narrative they want. And then you're like, well, I didn't see it on CNN. I saw it on my local news. Why would the local Palm Beach news station? They don't have an agenda to get anything. They're the local news.
Unfortunately, some members of the media use their platforms to push their own personal bias and agenda to control exactly what people think. And this is extremely dangerous
That's
to our democracy.
scary shit.
extremely dangerous to our democracy.
This is 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 extremely dangerous to our democracy.
Like,
Okay,
we're fucked.
wait. That's like a horror movie.
Yep.
Explain what you just showed, because
For those not listening, basically
watching it, you're gonna put that on.
Or for those only listening,
Jesus Christ!
it's like every time you heard a new voice, it showed different local newscasters
throughout the country,
yeah, on all these different stations
like
addressing the
100
camera.
little boxes.
Yeah, and it kept switching. So it's
Okay, that's a movie.
yeah.
You ever watch those movies?
And the fact that
you
they're
can see-
saying-
you can see Justin Timberlake playing a thing that's gonna throw
Like in
overthrow it.
1984. These are the news saying, and they're all saying you can't trust independent journalists and so people
It
on social
brands
media
out
because
democracy.
they have agendas that they're pushing, and it's not news,
Which
and
is
it'll
the-
be a threat
exactly
to
what
their
they're doing right
democracy.
here.
Right? Because they don't know, they're all reading the same thing, so someone is making that up and pushing their own agenda. But then us being like, why? The local place in Flagstaff, Arizona, why would they have an agenda compared to the one in Miami? But it's like they both are owned by the same company that has the agenda that also owns the factories.
This is Big
and
Brother's.
also,
Big Brother's watching.
yeah. Well, we
That's-
know they're watching. They're listening to.
Yeah,
Our phones are recording us right now.
100%.
I was just listening to some podcast where someone.
Isn't that chilling?
Yeah, someone was at some conference, or maybe it was the Tesla thing that was this weekend, like a big Tesla conference. And there was a guy who was semi high up in Facebook, and they were an engineer at Facebook, and the group was talking about the phones listening to us, like joking, and he was like, "The phone's 100." Like he said, "Yes, we are always listening to you." And so it was like a guy high up in Facebook who's like, "Yes, Facebook is always listening to you on your phone." And it's not just Facebook. We also have TikTok on there. We have YouTube on there. All like Apple probably is just doing it because we have an iPhone.
When you say listen, it's computers listening.
Yeah, it's always listening because
It's not people with headphones listening.
no. I mean, that'd be impossible.
You know what I'm saying?
But the main reason why the phone always listens is because it tailors your ads to you, right?
Right,
So
the algorithm.
if I keep saying, I love Harley Davidsons. I love Harley Davidsons. I really want a Harley Davidson motorcycle. Harley Davidson motorcycles are so cool. They're I feel like the youth doesn't appreciate Harley Davidson motorcycles as much as they should, because Harley Davidson motorcycles are American. If I keep doing that, and I've never gotten a Harley Davidson out of my phone.
Let me know if you do.
Guaranteed within the next 24 hours. I might have to do it for another minute or two, but if I keep doing that, guaranteed I will start getting Harley Davidson ads on my phone. So that no human is doing that. The algorithm, the computers are. But who knows, if I keep saying, I hate America. I hate America. If I keep doing that, who knows? The algorithm might ping it up to someone else and be like, hey, red flag, this account is saying stuff that you told me to report back. And then now a human is listening.
Will you let me know if it has the Harley Davidson thing?
Yeah.
I know for a fact they listen.
Yeah.
I've known because I've talked about certain things and I get the ads on my phone all the time.
And it's like they're ads that you would never would have gone otherwise.
No, all the fucking time.
Yeah. Which I'm okay with that one is just for ads. I'm not okay with it on the premise. But having my internet tailored to me is a good idea. I don't want to see ads for
vaginal cream.
Right, exactly. It's a waste of my space. So
why would that even come into my mind?
But so I like that ads
this because of Harley?
Yeah, that's exactly because I was looking around for something. Yeah. It is messed up and we talked about nothing good in this episode. It's scary.
So that's okay. So your children, my grandchildren, unfortunately, there's a very good chance they will never have that because of the way when they're going to be born, they will never have an independent thought.
No, but something drastic has to...
Wait, just if it stays like this...
If it goes down this road.
If it stays like this, even with you being a person who's more aware of it, chances are your children will never have an independent thought.
I don't know. I think if it stayed down this road, I would leave. I would go to Costa Rica or something and live where in a community that doesn't really have much internet and doesn't really... I think I would do that because I couldn't live in a society where we're just drones on our phones.
Right. Let's just play the scenario out for a second. Let's assume you didn't, and it stays this way and it gets worse. Your kids, though, let's think out loud for a second, will probably be everything in their brain
will just be propaganda.
Will be put in like a computer, someone typing in their brain exactly how they should live. They're going to be almost like computers. Like zombies.
If we keep going down the 60 minutes editing things route, you won't even have access to the book 1984 to read it and when my kids are in high school, they read it and then they might look around and be like, oh wow, some of how nowadays everyone in culture always brings up 1984. This is like Big Brother. So then it keeps it in your mind. Oh, that's dangerous because I've read critiques on it.
But in 2 generations, it won't even exist.
Right, or the editing. The government might get so strong and they keep editing that they edit that book out of existence.
That's what I'm saying. You won't know.
Yeah. So then there's no critiques to be had because the critique doesn't exist. Or if you do have the critique, boom, thrown in the gulag.
So it's all going to be the same.
That's what people
2 or
have done.
3. It's going to be puppeteers.
But I guess the good news is that there's a lot of people who are very against that and who are very vocal. And the beauty of the internet. The problem with the internet is that it allows this stuff to happen.
And
but the beauty
it exposes
it. It exposes it and it allows people like us to talk to people who are listening and be like, there's a fucking problem. We got to do something about this. It allows that to be the case.
You do need the radicals.
100 years ago, you just had to stand on your apple crate in the park and yell it. And everyone thought you were crazy. Nowadays, you can really access a lot of people.
Yep.
You can.
So we need radicals. We do.
And so that's what I was saying in the earlier, the chaos to bring it into order, to fix the problem. You need something serious. You need a drastic change to happen. And everyone wants a drastic change. Stop.
The phones. I see everybody in their phones all the time.
I think talking about a drastic change in the world, I really think that might be a good solution to it is revert back to the way the world was 100 years ago.
The phones are a problem.
Decelerate a lot of technology. Accelerate the good technology. Let's make planes better. And let's make cars better and all that stuff. Let's make air conditioning better. Let's make building homes cheaper so everyone can afford it. That kind of technology is good. But the technology that connects us all is bad.
It's such a big business.
The online banking, bad. The social media, bad. There's so much of it. Even our podcast, I think it's good, but I'd rather have no podcasts than podcasts.
So,
but then again, a lot of the world has become great because we have this interconnectivity in the internet. We can learn so much and we can gain access to so much.
The amount of banking fraud.
Yeah, but back in the day, definitely back in the day, there was more banking fraud than there is now. Having a computer run through everything gets rid of fraud. Because back in the day, you could walk into the bank in 1800s and be like, yes, I'm Jonathan Bloom. And they'd be like, no, you're not. And you'd be like, yes, look at my ID. I wrote it on a piece of paper.
I'm talking about.
And they'd be like, here you go.
I'm talking about the the intercepting and with the computer and the wires and things like that. It's crazy.
But back in the day, it was just like a guy told you, hey, I want to wire this much money to this person. And then a guy would like go on a horseback and be like, here you go. There's way less fraud now because of technology.
Scary. All right. Well, that was a quick hour.
In a depressing hour.
Not depressed, scary.
The depressing hour. That's what I'm going to call the episode. That'll get people to listen.
Right, I love you, Bronny. Bye, everybody.
You're joking, right?
Well, I'm trying to be hopeful. I'm trying to be optimistic about that.
Well, I guess you're too young to be a little pessimistic like me.
The fucking things I see out there, people are stupid.